Welcome to the Village of Bartlett Board meeting for February 5th, 2019. I call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Kammerer?
Present.
Carbonaro, absent. Daney?
Here.
GABRENYA?
Here.
HOPKINS? Ranky?
Present.
President Wallace.
Here. Due to having the fewest people out on the roads, we actually requested that our pastor that was doing the invocation this evening avoid driving. So we'll just stand, observe a moment of silence, and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Easy for you to say.
Busy day.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, we will be having a condensed version of this evening's agenda. We didn't want to have people here very long, so I didn't mean to condense the Pledge of Allegiance, but we are going to be condensing and putting some things on consent. We had talked about possibly skipping the meeting and putting everything on next month or next meeting, but I think we wanted to try to get it in and get it in as quickly as we can so that everybody has a chance to get home safely.
Right.
Okay, with that, we'll move on to the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda listed with an asterisk will be considered enacted in one motion. There'll be no additional discussion on anything on the consent agenda. Is there anything anybody would like to add?
Mr. President, I would like to add item B2 to the consent agenda.
Anything else?
I'd like to add item F1, please.
Okay. Okay, I will entertain a motion to amend the consent agenda to
Second.
Okay. I'll read them all when we go ahead and to amend the consent agenda to include B2 and F1.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Kammerer, seconded by Trustee Daney. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Daney?
Yes. Yes.
GABRENYA?
Yes.
HOPKINS? Ranky?
Yes.
Kammerer?
Yes.
That motion carries. Now I'll entertain a motion to approve the amended consent agenda, which includes the following. The minutes from the board minutes of January 15, 2019. The consent will also include the bills list for February 5th, 2019. The consent this evening will also be adding the Metro resolution in support of a State of Illinois capital bill. The consent this evening will also include, under license and ordinance, integrated lakes management open burn request for Hawk Hollow Forest Preserve. In consent this evening will be adding a resolution approving of the agreement between the Village of Bartlett and the Patriot Pavement Maintenance, Inc. for the 2019 crack ceiling project. The consent this evening will also include a resolution authorizing the use of motor fuel tax funds in the amount of $2,200,000 for fiscal year 2019-2020 MFT program. The consent this evening will also include a resolution authorizing the use of motor fuel tax funds in the amount of $400,000 for the 2019 Schick-Petersdorf resurfacing project Phase 3 construction.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Hopkins. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee GABRENYA?
Yes.
HOPKINS? Yes. Ranky?
Yes.
Kammerer?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
That motion carries. There is no treasurer's report this evening. There is no president's report this evening. Does anybody have any questions for staff?
I just want to make one comment. I'll make it real brief. Adam has his 21st birthday, February 19th. So congratulations, Trustee Hopkins.
Thank you. That's the only one.
Well, we also have Tyler, but I haven't seen Tyler around in a while.
It's a short,
Yeah.
it's a thin
That's
staff.
it.
He's at home.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Trustee Hopkins. Anything else?
I just want to say thank you to all of our village employees, both those that cleaned the roads and those that kept us safe during the cold snap, and you did a tremendous job. So on behalf of all of us and our residents, thank you for all that you did, and please pass that along.
Yes, well done.
And while we're giving thanks, I'd like to thank Mr. Dowden. because I called the finance department today. I can't talk. I called the finance department to check on a transfer stamp, and he answered. And he was covering the phones. So it was fantastic. So I want to thank him and the rest of your staff too, obviously.
Good deal. Any other comments or questions? And now we'll move on to the town hall portion of the meeting. If anybody has anything they'd like to address, please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and try to keep your comments to 3 minutes. Let's make sure that microphone's on.
Okay, my name is Cheryl Limvig. I am a resident, actually born and raised in Bartlett. And I am here to request parking signs, no parking signs on my street, on Grant Street, involving a conflict with where cars are parked. And it's on the inner radius of the curve of Grant Street, involving 3 houses where you cannot see, either if you're going south, you cannot see the oncoming cars at you, and if you're going north, you can't see the oncoming cars also coming at you because of the way the curvature is. So I'm requesting in front of those 3 houses on the east side, if there could be no parking in that vicinity. And this is, as I said, when you're driving, you hit that curve. When the cars are parked on that inner radius, you cannot see oncoming cars. And 3 different times, my husband and I have almost collided. We stopped, but the other car, they go really fast on our street also. So, and because of the many children we have in our area, I've lived in this house since it was built in Brook Farm, and we've gone through probably 5 different families, 6 different families with children, and we're now in a new cycle again of little children between the bicycles and the kickballs and their skateboards and that when the cars can't see because of all the, or drivers can't see because of the cars parked, it is definitely a problem that I want to avoid any casualties and any injuries to anybody, as well as collisions. So I have given the board pictures, both going south and northbound, and the problem with where the cars are parked and the house addresses. So if it could be considered, I do have no parking signs in front of my house because I am on another part of Grant Street with inner radius, and I realized what the situation was when I was raising my children, and I presented it to the village, and they in turn put up no parking in front of my house the way the larger lot is in the curve. And it does give visibility both ways of the traffic, so.
Okay. Chief, are you familiar with that area? We have the pictures.
Yeah, we have the photos. It's
950 Grant.
950 Grant.
Oh, and that's your address.
Is it during the week or just on the weekends, or when is it, Cheryl?
It actually, between the 3 houses, the one in particular, it's every night and every day that the vehicles are parked on the street. In fact, they leave them overnight, and even though they get ticketed, they don't care.
Wow.
And the driveway is filled with cars also, which, with the pictures I sent you, even with cars in the driveway, it does block the vision, but at least by not having parking on that curve, you would be able to see oncoming cars.
Yeah, okay.
But this is, on the one side, it is constant. On the other side, it may be weekends, it's full.
Okay.
We'll definitely take a look at that.
Okay.
Would it help if we just prohibited parking on one side of the street? Would it be an alternative?
With parking, with no parking on that one side,
Yeah.
there would be good visibility for seeing around the curve that there are cars coming at you when you're proceeding.
All right, we'll take a look at it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here on this lovely night.
Thank you for your time.
Yep. Anyone else like to address the board at this time?
Hello, my name is Parth Patel, and I'm a resident at 160 Pleasant Drive. I would like to urge the village board to approve the resolution endorsing the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus's Greenest Region Compact 2. I believe that this compact, with the extensive checklist that it includes, is a fantastic opportunity for the village to become a sustainability and renewable energy leader. Thank you so much for your time, and I yield back.
Thank you for being here. Anyone else? Hearing none, we'll move along to the standing committee reports this evening. First standing committee report, zoning, building and zoning, Chairman Hopkins.
Thank you, President Wallace. We have no items on our agenda tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Hopkins. Next standing committee report this evening is Community and Economic Development Committee, Chairman GABRENYA.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to present number 1, the resolution endorsing the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus Greenest Region Compact 2. The Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus created the Greenest Region Compact 2 as an update to the original GRC of 2007. The compact lists 49 high-level goals for the region and has the support of over 100 communities in our area. The GRC2 does not come with any mandates, but it is designed to be a guide for the village to follow to make sustainable choices. A couple of the ways that the village is working toward environmental sustainability is by recently being recognized as a tree city by the Arbor Day Foundation and joining the Mayor's Caucus Soul Smart cohort to encourage more solar projects in Bartlett. At this time, I would like to move to approve Resolution 2019-05,
05.
a resolution endorsing the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus Greenest Region Compact 2.
Second.
It's moved by Trustee GABRENYA, second by Trustee Hopkins. Is there any discussion?
I just think it's great that we're taking part in this, and I look forward to seeing what comes about it, and I'm sure you guys are going to give us a list of stuff and start checking things off the list.
Yeah, well,
I give them this stuff fresh from the meeting.
Right.
And the Metro, for you that don't know, I'm on the board at the Metro Mayor's Caucus. So
the privilege of meeting.
Paula gets text from the meeting if I think it's really important.
I had the privilege of meeting with Matthews last week, and I was very impressed and taken back with everything that I saw and that we discussed there. So thank you very much.
And I think that in the fact that we make such important decisions about things that are happening today and what affects our residents today, that being in support of this and that all the Mayor's Caucus and all these communities are thinking about what's here for our children tomorrow, I think is just as important. So thank you for your involvement very much, and thanks, Mayor.
Yeah. And thank you all for being here tonight to help us support this very important resolution. Any other discussion? Then ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Hopkins? Ranky?
Yes.
Cammer?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
GABRENYA?
Yes.
That motion carries.
Oh, Mr. President, our second item was carried on consent. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman GABRENYA. Next item on our standing committee reports this evening is under Finance and Golf Committee, Chairman Daney.
Mr. President, we have nothing on the agenda this evening.
Thank you, Chairman Daney. Next item on our standing committee reports this evening is License and Ordinance Committee, Chairman Kammerer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our one item was covered under the consent agenda.
Thank you, Chairman Kammerer. Next item is Police and Health Committee. Chairman Carbonaro is absent this evening. There's no items on his agenda. Next item we have this evening is in Public Works Committee, Chairman Ranky.
Thank you, Mr. President. All 3 items were covered on consent.
Thank you, Chairman Ranky. Is there any new business anyone would like to discuss? Questions? It's very empty over there by request. All right, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. And for those of you that know, we're going to run right into our committee meeting. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the regular board.
Moved.
Moved by Trustee Kammerer, seconded by Trustee Daney. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Ranky?
Yes.
Cammer?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
GABRENYA?
Yes.
Hopkins?
We are adjourned.